couldn't keep up with her. She tagged me one day and said, "Mommy, you can't catch me." I couldn't even catch my breath, much less try to catch her. And some kind of little seed planted itself. So it didn't do this overnight. I didn't do any of this overnight. It has taken 45 years really to go from where I was then and where I am now. And back then, it was 1969 or so. Nothing was available out there on the market. Even the doctors knew very much about nutrition and your health. They discounted that. So I had trouble. I did what most people would do, and you get on these crazy diets. You lose whatever, however many pounds, and then, of course, you couldn't keep that up forever. So you would go back and you would gain more weight, and gain the weight back, plus the weight would bring friends along. So you gained more weight than you lost, and then you do it again and again and again. And I did that for 10 years because there was just nothing out there. And then one day I heard a doctor on the radio who practiced medicine. I live in Rockville, in Montgomery County area, Silver Spring, Rockville, and had a radio show, which was a call-in radio show. So he would take questions from the gamut, and he was into health, fitness, and nutrition. And one day I heard him say, what you have to do to keep the weight off is to find out what your resting heart rate is, and then go out and keep your heart rate 20 beats above its resting rate, and keep it there for 30 minutes at a time without letting it drop, and do that 3 times a week. I said, well, I can do that. I can go out and walk and do that. So I did that, and I started listening to him, and then he started getting into the nutrition thing, and the relationship between nutrition and health, and fitness and health. And the other doctors, well, my own doctor, when I needed to lose part of 200 pounds, 200 plus pounds, he gave me diet pill prescriptions. Back then it was legal to give you the speed, and I would take the diet, I would do the prescription, and maybe he would do it for a month or so, and then he would snatch it away. Well, I would lose all of this weight, and then he'd snatch it away, and then I'd gain all of that weight, and then he would give me another prescription, and I would lose all that weight, and we just did this little dance for a few years until the law would not let him give me another prescription, because I was going to be addicted to it. Let me put a pin in this right now, and I want to do something else right here, but I don't want you to do it. This is for fun. As I said, I'm a reader, and my main topics are health, fitness, and nutrition. Well, there's a doctor named Dr. Mark Glenelg, if I'm not pronouncing his name properly, and he's from the Cleveland Clinic. They're a great research clinic in Cleveland. And he came up with this idea about a sit and rise test that you can do at home to see that will predict your death. And he did it for older people to try to get them to stay strong and flexible and balanced and relaxed as you age. So I see you standing around, and I love to stand because you know what they say about sitting. Even if you go out and run 4 miles and you come home and you sit for 4 hours in front of the TV, well, it offsets what you did that morning out running. So I'm okay for standing. I don't know how you are for standing, but this doctor came up with a sit and rise test, and I'm not able to do what he says. He gives a value. If you can do what he says, you get a 10. And if you do part of what he says, you will get a 6 to 7.5. And if you do less, you get 3.5 to 5.5. And if you do even less, you get 0.3. Point 3 is poor, meaning that you're predicting your own death simply because you're not strong and flexible and balanced and relaxed. So, I'm going to leave this with Stephanie, and then the website, you can go on the website and do this at home. But the people who need to sit, there's a way he wants you to sit. He wants you to sit without using your hands to get down, okay? And then once you're down there, he wants you to stand back up without using your hands. And if you use a hand or an arm or part of a leg or whatever, you deduct 1 point or 2 points or whatever. So this is a test at home, and you guys are probably in very good shape. I know I'm in very good shape, but happy birthday to me, 74 years old on Super Bowl Sunday. But I can get down. I can get down okay. I cannot get up. I have 2 grandkids, one is 7 and the other one is 9 years old. When we were doing this, and I asked them to do it, oh, just nothing. They were down and they were up and boom, boom, boom. So that was cool. And they call me Miley. Miley, you cannot get up. Oh, come on, I'll help you. I said, that's okay, you give me some time. I'm going to work on this. So if you need to get down, just sit down on the floor. It's fine.
These are boot camp students.
No one wants
Okay, they should be squatting or whatever right now. Lunging or something.
Okay. I run for 40, I would say I started walking 45 years ago, and then I started running. I was out walking, trying to keep the heart rate where the doctor had said. And I was out walking, and I thought I would just try running a little bit, and I really liked it. In high school, I was an athlete in high school, basketball. Never did track, but basketball was my thing in high school. So I'm out running a little bit and walking and running and walking and walking and running. And every day I would run more and walk less until I started running. I ran 2 miles a day for 8 years because that's just where I was and what I wanted to do, and that's it. The weight started coming off, and I started eating much better. Not the way I'm eating now, but I got there. And I started feeling better, I started looking better, and it got easier and easier. And over at least 40, 45, 44 years, I run over 100,000 miles. It's well over 100,000 miles. One of the authors at Runner's World, I had an occasion to be in their presence, and they analyzed how much I had run, and at that time, I think it was 6 years ago, I had run over 100,000 miles. And I've been running 60 miles a week for the last 8 or 10 years. And as Stephanie said, I don't have any problems with my running, because I run in line with how the body was designed to run. And I take advantage of gravity when I'm running. So my body is set up the way Mother Nature made my body to be set up. So I don't put any undue stress on any part of my body, and it's not just about the legs. For example, people think, you gotta do the legs, do the legs. It's not just the legs. Your whole body is one unit, and everything, even the way you hold your head, your neck, has a bearing on every other part of the body, especially as you're out there moving and running or walking. So for me, I was able to find a way to run, which is called chi running. I don't know if any of you heard of chi running. but chi running is a way to run in line with how the body is made, and I run from the core. So I have a really, 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 really strong core because I made it so. I worked really hard over the last 10 years, and I've been chi running for probably 11 or 12 years now. And I'm going to show you a little bit about chi running, but first I want to feed you. Oh, somebody's ready. First I want to feed you. I have a way of eating. I have a lifestyle that is in line with keeping my body as healthy as possible. As healthy as possible. Would you do me a favor? And follow Stephanie and give everybody one of these. I am what I call myself a yucky vegan. Yucky vegan. I do I eat the yucky vegan way. This is an example of what I eat in the morning. Okay? There are no real recipes, although there is a list, you'll see, of ingredients. The first column is a list of ingredients. The second column is a list of the nutrients that these ingredients are mostly known for. And the third column is a sample of the health possibilities. So every time I'm in the morning, I make a big batch, and I put them in serving sizes, or I put them in the freezer. Sometimes I add strawberries or blueberries or whatever, especially in the summertime when they're cheap. So every day, I start my day nutrient rich. And when you have a chance to read some of these health possibilities, you will see that there is a correlation between what you eat and how your body operates out there when you're trying to run or walk or live or do what you did this morning. How you need to take charge of your body by giving it the proper nutrients so that you can metabolize everything that needs to be metabolized so you have the energy that you need. And I can tell you, over time, I'm a Kaiser person. And I'm known for twisting arms. And I'm a Tai Chi person too, which is a martial art. So I'm known for twisting my doctor's arms to get what I need from them. When I walk in there at 74 years old, don't even go to that medical book that says, here's what a 74-year-old is like. My resting heart rate is 28 beats a minute. It's been 28 beats a minute for the last 15 years. I don't know, 15 years, 16 years. I had an occasion to have an x-ray on my knee, and they x-rayed from here to there, and they found that my femur bone had thickened. This was last year. So I'm 73 years old, and my bones should be thinning, if you look in the medical book. Thickening. Because if you run 100,000 miles over all of these years, it's the only thing that can happen. It's weight bearing and your bones have thickened. Okay? My blood, I did a 6-day race. I ran 6 days and 6 nights. Stephanie and Mary were there. I ran 6 days and 6 nights without a significant break on 40 minutes of sleep total. I had not one muscle problem at all. I had minimal shoes, no socks, and no blisters. There was no need for me to go to the medical tent back there in Arizona. And I came back, and I get blood work before, because I twisted the arms. I'm doing this 6-day race. If I need blood work a couple of months before, and blood work a couple of months after, you know, make sure I get back to normal. And what happened was my red blood cells thickened. So what Kaiser does is, rather than believing, and I can understand, rather than believing what I say, they give me all the tests to rule out stuff. So with the bones, they had to rule out everything. Weakened bones, or cancer of the bone, or whatever diseases that might be on the books because of thickened bones or thickened blood. They ruled out everything. They couldn't find anything. And what happened was, they finally said that my blood thickened because my body was in such good physical condition that it needed more oxygen to my working muscles. And that is why my blood had thickened, and I didn't have cramps. If the blood had not thickened, my body would have cramped, especially the calf muscles in the leg. I don't know if you've ever had a cramp in your calf muscle, but very, very painful. So I had nothing. Part of what I do is the nutrition. And I know you're fitness people, because I can see you were here. But please don't ignore the nutrition, because that's a part of your fitness. If your body cannot perform with what you're asking it to do, whatever it is you did this morning, if it can't perform to the utmost, then you need to take a look at your nutrition. You cannot perform the way you would like to, or I could not run the way I would like to on bagels and cream cheese, or name some other things. What else do you do?
Cupcakes.
Cupcakes. Yeah. And you skip breakfast and you, yeah. See, all of those things, it does have a bearing. It really, really does. Even if, you know, just think, the body is amazing. It can do amazing things if you give it what it needs. And we all know what it needs. So I became a yucky vegan, not overnight. It took me, as I said, I started 44 years ago, and it was a progress that was like this. And very, very gradual. I stamped out, didn't know I was doing this, emotional eating. Guess what I had on my birthday? I had yucky vegan food on my birthday. It did, I mean, there's no excuse for me, and I'm not saying anybody is where I am, because I did it consciously, but now it's unconscious. I have the same relationship with eating a piece of birthday cake, even on my birthday, that I would have with eating that dirt out there. It's not difficult any longer. There was this line in my life, there was this line, and for years I was on this side, the eating line, and then I moved to this side gradually, and all I want is stuff, food, that will provide me the nutrients that I need for my body, meaning for my liver, for my heart, for my brain, for my white blood cells, for my red blood cells, for my big toe, you know, for every part of my body. I want the nutrients. It has nothing to do with emotional eating. You can, one can get there from emotional eating to functional eating. And you change, when you change how you look at something, that something changes. I was just like everybody else. I ate an entire German chocolate cake for my birthday that my coworker made for me when I think I was probably in my 30s. You know, so I'm just like everybody else. But I decided to make a change because I have stuff going on in my family that didn't look like something I wanted to have, diabetes and high blood pressure. My blood pressure is super duper low most of the time, because you know it varies. And 80/60 is not too low for me, because my heart is so strong that it doesn't need to pump as much. My pulse is walking around like this, is 44 beats a minute. I had an audience with the cardiologist who was absolutely amazed. He just could not believe my age and sitting in front of him. But it's about nutrition, and it's about the fitness, and it's about your entire lifestyle. To make it happen for you, you're going to have to do something to change your lifestyle. You can't just hit and miss when it comes to your health, especially as you age. This little book, Beyond Vegan All the Way to Yucky Vegan, tells the story of how I got started, how I did it, and it gives you information about how I eat, and I looked for all of the nourishment that I needed, and I programmed it into how I eat. So there are no recipes in this book. The foundation for eating right is in this book. So I have a set of standards and the nourishment from the experts, and that's another thing. I'm not a fly-by-night kind of person. Don't tell me about something that works fast and that's easy. Because there's no such thing, if you want to be in good shape, no such thing as fast and easy. So forget it. If it's not something that you can do that's good for your body for the rest of your life, it won't work. I did 10 years work for that, as I said a long time ago. It took me 10 years to get off of that circuit with the diet and losing and gaining and yo-yo and all of that. You need information, and we have a lot of it out there now, about what the body needs, nutrition-wise, and I have a set of standards. So my stuff is all 100% organic. You know why? If you take a look back here, you will see and you've heard this, red light, yellow light, and green light. You've heard that for the foods. Peaches is a red light food. 97% of a peach is pesticides. Okay, you get 3% of the fruit, and the rest of it is junk. This comes from a source that one would support, USDA. Okay? So the information is here, everything is here. You don't have to go as far as I've gone. I hope you do, because I want to be around here when I'm 150 and you are 100 and, let's see, you're probably 40 years younger than me, so you know what I mean? But it's going to take some work. So I have these at less than cost over here. I don't want them sitting at home in my box. I'd rather have them in people's hands to take a look. So they are here on this table, and we can figure it out. They cost better than $16 for me to produce, and if I can do $11, that'd be great. Okay, so this is from that book. I used that information. Questions? Do me a favor. This is a nice big room. You're gonna follow me, you're gonna follow her, you're gonna follow her, you're gonna follow her, and we're just gonna stroll around on this. It's hard. It's hard to stand unless you are conscious of your good posture. Then nothing will hurt. If you can stand with your good posture, you won't have any problems. So I've given your ligaments and muscles and everything a little bit of a break. It's almost like the kids, you have them, after a while, do something active. Okay. I'm going to pass out something while you guys are walking. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about aging and what it will take while I'm talking to you about running. How many runners are interested in running better? Oops, I made it. Let me see a show of hands. Okay, good. I'm going to show you how. Oh, you're starting to run?
Well, I want to.
Oh, you,
Because I
good.
hate it, but I know I can like it.
You hate running?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh.
She started hating it less, I think.
I am.
She hates it less. That's a good step forward.
Am I going to make it?
I'll share with my husband.
Oh, okay, thank you. Oh, look at that. Okay, look at that. And I need to borrow one so I can talk to them. This one. This is yours.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Over the years, to make the changes that I made, let me know when you get tired of walking. Stop anywhere. Somebody can just stop. And then that, okay. You stop, that's it. Okay. Over the years, there was nothing out there for me. And I knew I needed to be healthy and take better care of myself because I had this 3-year-old that I really wanted to be around as her mother. Sincerely did. So I'm looking back now. I'm looking back. I started this process, looking back, 10 years ago. And in order to make any change, whether it's at the boot camp or whether it's at the dinner table, or whether it's on the job, doing whatever in life, if you do not have passion, it will not happen. You got to be passionate. You got to have it deep down in your gut, the passion to make a change. If your doctor said you had better do something, or you're going to go over the line from where you are now to pre-diabetes or diabetes. And if you're not passionate about making that change, you cannot do it. You've got to be passionate. And once you're passionate, then you have to have the internal strength to hold on to the passion. Because your friends and your boss, your friends, your family will sabotage whatever it is you're trying to do. They don't mean any harm. You know, I was trying to make changes in how I was eating and my colleagues at work and my family. Why are you doing this to your mother? She spent all this time with this Thanksgiving dinner. And here you are bringing your own food to the Thanksgiving dinner family table. You know, you gotta be strong. You gotta have the internal strength. You don't have to be mean, you know, or cruel or anything, but you have to make sure that you hold on to the passion for change. And then the next step is you have to allow your mind to get involved. If your mind is not involved, nothing will change. Gotta make some changes here. I don't care how long you come and you want to run and you want to like it. If you get out and you're running and you want to like it, it's not going to change unless you change something. You've got to change your mind in order to make the change. The way you did that, or the way you can do that, the way I did that, didn't know what I was doing now. Remember, I'm looking back on all of these years to see what it is that I did to make such a change in a world that doesn't support this kind of change. And my mind took over. I didn't know that it was. So I told you I was 200 plus pounds of smoking every time I lived. Once I knew that that was stupid.